in the second unit we'll be having a look at what are the organizational writing. So in that we'll be doing emails, circular, notices, agendas, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let me present my slide, and I'll just switch off my video because then it becomes easier, otherwise it takes a lot of screen. My video also takes up one part of the screen. So here it is. You all can see now the slide that shows the second unit, organizational writing. So as you know, as we move ahead, apart from having WhatsApp conversation which are so informal, we have to understand what is formal email writing, because you will be joining some corporate, or maybe you are into journalism, maybe you are a media person, whatsoever. You have to understand that a business email is different from your informal chats. Okay, so what are the things that you will be doing? You should learn business letters, not only emails. Sometimes letters are also important, that you don't have to send email through net. You have to send the piece of paper which is called letter, like earlier we used to send. So that record is also maintained in the corporates. Okay, you should understand what is a business memo and what are business faxes. These things nowadays, now they are not used, because fax का क्या होता था कि if you have to send something, some document as it is, it's like a photocopier. Like you don't have to send it physically. You just scan that document through the phone, and there was a fax machine from where you have to send it across. You have to put that paper inside, and the similar document was reproduced in the recipient phone fax. So nowadays it is not much used, because we have got multiple things which can take place of these faxes, because now you can scan the document and attach it in the emails, right? There is no need of going through the fax. And again, there was a limitation to fax. What was it? Because sometimes what used to happen, the fax machine needs to be on in both the sides. Like if you have sent a fax from here, if the other recipient fax machine is not on, then the document would not be going, like it will not be received there. So somebody should be there present manually to accept that thing. Okay, but then later on there were some changes in those fax machines, and then they said it is now automatic. So even automatic, if there is nobody to collect, there is no privacy, because some important documents that goes automatically into the machine and they just pile up, and somebody who can read these important or confidential documents, then the purpose is lost. Sometimes you have to keep you have to send the document only to somebody, and fax machines were such that it were not available to each and every one, because it's okay to have one fax machine for 20-50 people. So and the fax was not so, like पहले इतना नहीं भेजते थे. Now it has become a norm, like in your email you can send as many scanned document as you can. अभी तो WhatsApp में you can send photographs also, just at the back, very quickly, in a jiffy. Somebody asks you a document, you take a photograph and you just send it, right? Itna fast ho gaya. So let's now understand, before getting into organizational writing, what are the steps which are very, very crucial and you cannot do without them. Because see, your way of speaking is one thing, where you can add so many cliches, you can add so many jargons, you can say like you can have the fillers. But in the email, when you are doing some writing which is organizational writing, which is a business letter, you cannot beat around the bush. You have to be very, very, very specific. Okay, and you have to choose your words very carefully. So first of all, you will plan what are the things that you are going to write in the email. Then you have to write it. Then you have to just have a look at it, revise it, and if there is a need, you can do some addition, like kuch kaata, kuch add kiya, and that is called editing. And once you are happy that everything is been included and there is no extra thing that is not required, crisp final email is ready, so then you can send it. So this is a process not only for email, for any writing purpose you will follow this, whether you are writing a news report, whether you are writing a notice, whether you are writing email, or whichever way. First, plan in your head. Never start writing just straight away. Then make a rough draft, write it, then make a final thing. उसमें एडिशन कर सकते हो, इसमें एक पॉइंट ऐड कर दिया. देन दिस इज, यू हैव टू सी कि व्हेन यू आर रिवाइजिंग, योर माइंड शुड वर्क सो फास्ट कि इफ आई हैव मिस्ड आउट ऑन एनी पॉइंट, देन editing comes. Okay, next, when you are writing emails, you should be aware that they are not informal. You can write email to your near and dear one also, and that can be very, very informal, where you can do anything. You can add emojis, you can without even a salutation, you can sometimes send the important information. But when you are in corporate, when you are in an organization, you have to be very, very particular about the etiquettes. For example, it is a must that email क्या है? It's the fastest way of communication. Earlier, when important letters used to be sent, उसका recipient को देखना पड़ता था. Received का we were supposed to take कि हाँ, it has been received. Now, email once sent from your end, it is automatically believed that the other person has received it. Okay, so that is one thing. And or most of all the organization actually use email as a tool for internal communication as well as external communication. Why? Because via email you can send circular, you can send notices, you can send orders, right? So you, as a media student, or not only as media student, even if you were not a media student, you should know, and you should have the habit, or you should cultivate that habit of responding to the email rather than WhatsApp chat. Get into that habit, because email is more formal, right? So it is really very important for email writer to follow certain etiquettes that I'm going to talk about. And there are certain phrases that you will learn. I'm going to enlist those things for you. First is, whenever you get an email, try to respond as fast as possible. Why? Because it is a nice gesture. If you are in a corporate, other people will know that you are a person who responds to the email. You don't keep it like we'll do it later on, and it is not important. You consider it important, and when you respond, it is also a sign of acknowledgement, because that shows that you are a very responsible person. You have understood the matter, and it gives a professional touch to your persona, right? Whenever somebody is very prompt in responding, that person is considered to be more proactive. In whatever work you will give that person, that person will act on it. He's not a lazy person, not a sloppy person. Okay, a quick response tells that the person who has received is a responsible person. He is dealing with a very good cooperative mindset, and you can rely on that person, right? If somebody does not respond, that means usko bhejte jao, that person will not be interested in doing that. Second is when you are writing formal emails, whenever you never use emojis, whether even it is a small smiley also, don't do that. Formal chats में ये सब नहीं होता है. Okay, you can, if you are sending an email to your kith and kin, near and dear one, then it is okay. It's okay, you know, we can accept that. But while you are in corporate, never ever send any emojis to anybody. Okay, next point that is there is the subject line. Now never leave the subject line empty. Though you can, there is an option, you can send the email without a subject line, but once you write a subject, the person who gets the email has an idea. Okay, because subject line has a function to perform. It tells the receiver in a nutshell what that email is going to talk about. Okay, right? It's actually a introduction to your message, and hence it cannot be ignored. It is very important. Next point is salutation. Now, depending on your relation, it is always advisable when you are writing an email to your senior respected sir or respected ma'am. Okay, but when you are writing to your colleagues who are at the same level, then you can also write dear. Okay, so this gives a personal touch to it. Without salutation, a message seems to be it's doesn't look like as if the person is addressing you, right? Every message, WhatsApp mein to it's a personal chat, then you every time you don't have to write the name. But while writing an email, it is always important that you write dear ma'am or dear, and you can write the name also. Okay, now let's go to the next point, which is called final reading. Before sending the email, before hitting the send button, please go through the email one more time, because there are certain mistakes that may happen while you are writing. May not be intentional, sometimes some spelling mistakes, and sometimes, and it happens with me a lot of time, like when I'm writing an email, my mind is working very fast, and I think that I have written that word, but that word is skipped. Okay, so it is important that there is no skipping of any word, because your mind works very fast sometimes. You have so many points in your mind, and when you are writing, a single word may be left out, so then that leads to an error. Though other person may understand what you were trying to say, but then it removes your professional touch from the email. If your emails are error free, that gives you an added advantage, that this person takes care of each and every details. He's very careful, or she is very careful, and she reads the email before sending it out to the person whom it is concerned. Okay, so next point is you have to keep a limit on how many times you will forward the your email, because there is a thing where you can forward your emails to your colleagues, because they do the same to you. So good manners is that you must forward emails only to those who have a use for them. Otherwise, don't do it. Okay, it's not always important that the message you are sending to the person, they may like it, or they may have the use of it. So restrict. If it is not important, don't do it. And same goes for the WhatsApp messages also. Like we have the tendency, we like something, we try to forward that thing to the people, especially in the group. लगे रहते हैं एक के बाद एक, even if it is like some stupid message. So don't show your level. Don't overdo it, because अगर आप ज़्यादा करते हो ना, तो other people will take you very lightly. Keep it restricted. Make your value. Okay, and only send those forwards which may benefit other people. Don't unless it is a very small group and very close pals, then you can send jokes and all, but then it is not advisable for a business point of view, from organization point of view. Then while writing the email, you have to be sure that where you have to write capital letters. See, when you are responding in on a WhatsApp chat, we may ignore whether we are looking at the capitalization or no, right? We may use all caps or may use all small letters, but while you are writing the email, make sure that dear is D is capital, S ka IR is capital, then comma is there, then start with a capital letter, okay, whatever. Then if there is a proper noun like Godrej company and all, whatever you have to write INC. So just make sure that everywhere, wherever capital letters are required, you are using them. You are not ignoring. So this will come. You are in the flow of writing. Just write the email first and then go for capitalization, because sometimes your thoughts are more important than capital letter. But once you are done with all the thoughts that you had in your mind, then please check for capital letter, because that is very important. Never write for example, your name with a small letter. Okay, never. How in the email you are going to write it? Like this. Make sure, because it adds a professional touch to the email. This is very informal. Okay. Let me erase everything from here. Next point is you have to be very, very polite when you are writing your email. You cannot be using harsh language, okay, and casual language also. Not only harsh and casual, you have to be very polite. No matter what, how much anger you have in your mind, never show it in your email. Be firm. If you are not happy, be stern also, but don't use bad words. Okay? Sometimes it is very important to give it back to those people, some employees who are not listening to you. So give it write an email which is very stern, but be polite at the same time. Okay? Now, next point is very important about the attachment. You have to be very careful with all the attachments that you are having in the email. Don't attach documents to your email without making sure that they are required by the receiver. Okay, first point. And second point, at the same time, don't forget to attach the documents to an email if it is asked for. Okay, sometimes we in a hurry just send the document, and then for example I have to send an email to the head of department about the number of students who had given the assignments. Okay, and I have written the whole email, and I've just and in that I have written also that I'm attaching the Excel file telling you showing the number of students who have given the assignment, and in a hurry what I have done, I've just hit the send button without an attachment. So be very, very particular about that, because these are the mistakes that happen, and these things will become very, very easy for you if you have got the practice of having a relook at the total thing before sending. Relook at everything. Relook at the subject line and amount of recipient, किस-किसको भेजना है, please have a look at it again. किसको इसको forward करना है, किसको CC करना है, किसको BCC करना है, that also you will take care. And again relook at capital letters. Okay, then attachment को have a final look whether I have already attached the thing that is required or no. Okay, now okay, this is all. So now there are certain before I do this, let me show you that this is a form. This is a way email is sent. Okay, you are all aware of it. I don't have to tell you anything. So this is the recipient to whom you are sending. Here you will write copy and BCC. Okay, this is the subject line, which is very important. Never ignore this, because आपका पूरा ईमेल नहीं भी दिखेगा, सबसे फर्स्ट थिंग क्या दिखती है? सब्जेक्ट लाइन. ओके, even if you are getting notification, in the notification also you see the subject में क्या लिखा हुआ है. The whole email will not be visible. So looking at the subject you may feel like कि okay, this I will address this email immediately, or I can keep it for later review. Okay, now if you have to add attachment then you will definitely go, और यहाँ पे आपको दिख जाएगा what are the attachments here. Okay, now hello Mr. Smith, see capital letter, right? So salutation, this is the second important point. First is subject line, third is the message that you are writing here. Okay, closing is very important. When it is a formal email business, you have to write it. So many words are there: sincerely, faithfully, okay, truly, yours truly. Most of the people, they like yours truly. Okay, so these are the closing lines, and after that you will write your name. See, again capital letter. Now signature block, sometime you don't have to, signature block में क्या है, you can add your name. Okay, you can add your name and what is your designation: visiting faculty, Guru Nanak College, this and this, whatever. So this becomes a signature block. Sometime you don't have to every time, because once you will be in organization, you will be working for some department, so that thing you will be getting as a signature block. So the moment you hit the signature block, everything will come automatically. Okay, that you don't have to really write every time you will get that the same thing, unless you want to change it. You are writing for somebody who is not from the organization, or you are writing for writing a private email from your corporate email. Okay, that's it. Let me erase all the marks from here so that we can go to the other part of this. Here you will see this is the format, email sample. So this is a format. They have a ready-made format for somebody who joins the organization. You see, welcome to our hive, that means somebody has joined. That means who has joined? Hannah Jones has joined. Okay, this is from all staff. That means when somebody new is joining, copy में डाल दिया, सब staff को मिल गया ये email. That means from James Brown, welcome to our hive. Now this is a format. Anybody who joins their organization, they have this format. So what they have to do? Just add details here. Okay, it is a pleasure to welcome you to the team of this. We are excited to have you join our team. So every moment they will not be writing this, so they have this ready-made in their in their folders kept, for welcoming any staff. If some staff is leaving, if some staff is getting promotion or whatever. So these types of emails, they come handy because you only have to add few details and then copy to all, right? Warm regards, this, and see here again I just show you, signature block. This is called the signature block. So his telephone number, his email address, what is his designation, whatever. So this is the way you will be having email when you will join an organization. All right, and this is the sample one. Again I have to show you.
I didn't got the CC part.
Pardon?
CC, the written all staff. I didn't got that part.
See, acha, previously in this,
Yes.
CC when they, acha, listen. Here, when they must have made some, setting कि when they write CC all staff, that means all those people who are in the staff, they will get, for example, यहाँ पे Anna Jones का है at buzzle.com. So all those people, A at buzzle.com, B at buzzle.com. So all those people will get this email. Okay. One thing is called
carbon copy, that means.
yes, exactly, it is called carbon copy, and another thing is called BCC. So इसमें क्या होता है, you can see the list कि किस किस को गया है ये email. But if you are putting the email address in BCC, that means you won't be able to see कि ये किस किस को means this email has been sent to those person which are hidden. You cannot see those BCC wala. Sometimes it is important that you are sending an email but you don't want to tell each and every staff that this email has been sent to that person also. Okay, that is called blind carbon copy. It is similar to copy except that email address of the recipient in this does not appear. दिखेंगे नहीं आपको. You understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because there are sometimes, you know what happens, there are bosses in the organization जिनको आप mail भेज रहे हो but you don't want those email address to be open. अब suppose for example just as an example, if you are working for a Reliance Retail or something and you want to have that you want to send that email to Mukesh Ambani also, but each and every staff should not have an access to Mukesh Ambani's email, otherwise his email box will be flooded, isn't it? So you can put it in the BCC because that email address will not be visible. Blind carbon copy. Now let's move ahead. While we are writing the email, it is always important. See, इसमें कितने mistakes है ना इसका. Can you see? So never get into that. Because आपके friends हैं तो चलेगा. These types of mistakes are okay. But you have got this option of spell check. So always click it on ताकि आपको पहले से ही जब आपका कोई wrong होता है ना email में तो ऐसे करके line आ जाता है. जैसे ये word wrong है तो देखो आपने यहाँ पे है ना. So that means you need to correct these. Okay? स्पेल चेक रखोगे तो आपका सपोज यहाँ पे चाकोलेट होता तो ये भी ऐसे ऐसे हो जाता. एंड यू दैट मीन्स यू हैव टू पे अटेंशन ऑन दिस वर्ड. दिस इज रॉन्ग. ऑलवेज कीप द स्पेल चेक ऑन व्हेन यू आर राइटिंग. बिकॉज कई बार होता है कि हम लोगों का ध्यान नहीं जाएगा कि देयर इज अ मिस्टेक, बट स्पेल चेक विल ऑटोमेटिकली पुट अ रेड अंडरलाइन, zigzag underline under the word which is wrongly spelled. Okay. So sometimes it underlines a noun, proper noun also, because it is not able to recognize that word in its list. Okay, so then you have to ignore that. For example, if you have to write Plazo Elite something and it does not understand what is Plazo Elite, so it will have a zigzag red color underline on under that word. But this is a proper noun, so you cannot do anything about it, so just ignore that. But in case the other words are there, for example restaurant, pizza and all, so you will correct it and then send it. All right, now let's move ahead and it's what's the time? Okay, we can still we can finish one more. Now what is the importance of email in an organization? Why should we stick to email now? And most of the conversation, most of the communication nowadays has gone to email. Earlier it was a physical mail. So what is the reason that it is? First of all, it is not time consuming. Some of the formats are easily available, right? Now it is easy to exchange messages, and then it's a written document. This information can share easily to the production unit. Next, in one message, many recipients can get the information if you want to send it to so many people. Here, pictures and documents can be attached, right? Refusal not possible कि हमें मिला ही नहीं, because email acts as a document कि यहाँ से sent हो गया, that means you have a proof. Email can act as a long time reference and no way to destroy it. Physical copy आपकी destroy हो, actually इसमें भी होता है, but still you can retrieve it. In case your something happened from your end, doesn't matter because some things are saved in the cloud, then they are job friendly. So these are the importance. That is why we have all switched to emails nowadays. Okay, now what is overcoming the barriers to email communication? Now there are occasions when our emails don't bring the desired result, the expected response. And this happens when our email, instead of conveying our message, creates a barrier between the person who is sending it and the person who is receiving it. Okay, the solution lies in overcoming these barriers, which can be done um, by many things. Like for example, if you are not on the same page as the person who is receiving your email, so there is an ego clash, there is an anger. So what you have to do, you have to control your anger. So receiving email that makes you angry is very common. Sometimes you may feel ki why this person is behaving so bossy, why, because but he's my colleague, he's not superior to me. So what you will do, you will keep a check on your anger. Losing your anger while replying your email will only make the matter worse. So what you do, be very stern with the reply. ऐसा नहीं है कि you just give in to whatever he is saying, but be very politically right. You know what is politically right? Where you give him a give him a good answer also, that means slap him, but not even nobody should see it also, and he should get the message right. It's not be very clear. If that person says ki you have not done this, so you give it back ki, yes, these are the proof that I have done, right? Some people, they behave very smartly. They will send a copy of the same email to the boss also, and they will try to bully you that you have not performed this work, this was supposed to be done. So that means they are acting very smart. So you have to be extra smart, but without losing your anger. Once you will be in the corporate world, you will be seeing dog eats dog world. It's not easy. Corporate world का नाम रखा गया dog eats dog. That means everybody is trying to take your share. Everybody is trying to eat you out. You have to keep your guards off very well, because in the corporate, what happened? Who is your enemy and who is your friend, you don't know. And never be open with everything with every colleague. Be helpful, but at the same time, never share your important and confidential information with each and everyone, because किसी के माथे पे नहीं लिखा होता है कि that person is a genuine person. Be friendly with everybody. I'm not saying that you have to cut off from them. Be friendly, but at the same time, keep your guards on. Okay. Second point is, you have to use simple language whenever you are writing an email. Don't try to use over fancy vocabularies, and because what happens, sometimes it will lead to miscommunication, because if the other person is not so good with the language, may misunderstand it. So if it is simple, your work should be done. Now what is more important? You should be able to convey the message, but don't have to use flowery language. Stick to the basics. So simple words, short sentences which do not leave any scope for misunderstanding. Okay? Okay? Because otherwise there is a barrier and the message is not clear for the. What is your tone of your email? How polite you are? Because even if you are angry, you have to be polite. It's a phrase, whenever you want to give it back to somebody, don't reply when you are really angry with somebody. Don't reply when you are angry. Make yourself calm and then give him back with all politeness, so that, because you are not reacting. Otherwise, if you react back in the same anger, the matter will become worse, and that person will, maybe कई बार तो ऐसा होता है, sometime when you will be entering a corporate world, some people deliberately do that so that you get frustrated, you become angry, and then you react. And when you will react, those people will tell other 10 people, see how this person is behaving. They will not know the internal story, why you have done that, why you have reacted. They will only see that you are reacting, and that person ने अपना तो खेल खेल दिया, isn't it? Only if you start spilling the beans कि this person started from here and that is why I lost my control and I lost thing and I reacted this way. But who has the time to explain and justify? As per as per me, what you should do, if somebody is making you react, is trying to put some fire in you to just so that you explode, be on your guards. These are some guru mantra that is going to help you in the long run, because in the corporate world, as I said, dog eats dog world. सबको अपना प्रमोशन चाहिए, सबको अपना बेनिफिट चाहिए. ओके अभी कॉलेज लेवल में आप वो नहीं देखोगे. कॉलेज लेवल में एवरीथिंग इज़ वेरी 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 फ्लावरी. फ्रेंड्स हैं, ये हैं, वी मे गो टू एनी एट एनी लेंथ. But once you are in the corporate, it is going to be a different world altogether. Okay? So what you will do? Be very, very sharp, street smart. Don't react. If you are reacting, that the other person is winning because that person wanted you to do that. So your tone, even in the email, should never reflect, because what happens, अगर आपने reaction किया, some people will say see you, but once you are reacting in a very bad tone and you lose your politeness in the email, that is acted as a proof, isn't it? It's an evidence. See what you have written. There is a proof here. So never ever do that in the email communication. Okay? And the next point is, when you are writing email, never in a corporate world, definitely never be funny, because it's not required. You can be funny in your WhatsApp messages, that's okay, but when you are writing a formal email, there is no scope for that being funny, because then what happens is the other person will not take you seriously, and you basically have to maintain the decorum of the formal culture of your corporate organization, and that makes you stand out, that makes you look very polished. Okay, then your email has to be very short and crisp, because your email should not be a 7-page or 10-page essay. Nobody has the time. It's not a love letter that you are trying to woo your girlfriend or a boyfriend, that ye wo filana dhimkana. Here you have to be to the point. Okay, keep it as short as possible, keep it as crisp as possible, make it simple. Lengthy emails do not get response. ये भी याद रखना. आप बहुत लंबी ईमेल भेजोगे, जवाब ही नहीं आते हैं. So a long email actually creates a barrier, because वो उसको लगता है कि इसका किस चीज़ का जवाब दे. So if you have many points in the email, definitely is there are certain circumstances where you have to really send a long email, where you have to mention all the points. Then that should not be a norm. Normal way में what should it be, कि एक या दो पॉइंट जो आपको भेजना है, it should be a regular communication, rather than after 1 month you are sending a 3-page email. Doesn't matter, doesn't make sense. So if you are regular, every day you are sending 2 pointers, ये हुआ आज का ये है, you are giving the details, so उसकी फिर ज़रूरत भी नहीं पड़ेगी that you have to write a 4 or 5 page का email. Okay, so try to make it short and crisp. Okay, now you should know your reader. When you are writing email, it is very important to know the level of that person who is getting the email. Okay, knowing the kind of reader will make you a better person, कि इसको कैसा email भेजना है जो इसको समझ में आता है. The nature of your reader will if you are pointing your email toward a person who is not very good with English, so you make it very simple. If you are sending email to a person who is very well versed with the language, then you go to any length. You can want to impress that person, you can go ahead, because you know that person will understand your language. So know your reader. Okay, That's one point. That's the last point. Now, what's the time? 11:30. So that means we still have more time and we can go ahead and talk about circulars and what is the format of a circular. Okay. Now, circular is something which can be sent, uh, you know, to the stakeholders of an organization. The receiver in this case is a big number, okay, large number, because that subject जिस बात के लिए आप circular भेज रहे हो, they are all having that relevance because it is relevant to all those people to whom you are sending the circular. You must have seen in a school, in a colleges, the circulars are sent to each and every professor. Sometimes circulars are sent to the head of departments only. So दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सर्कुलर कहाँ किसको भेजना है, दैट विल कन्वे. अगर वो हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट्स का है तो फिर दैट विल नॉट रीच द स्टूडेंट्स एंड द लेक्चरर्स ऑल्सो. ओके, सो यू विल नो what is the format of a circular. For a circular, I have this. See, this is the format. First of all, if you are writing a circular on a letterhead, then no need to mention कि कहाँ किसने भेजा है, because ऊपर से letterhead से पता चल जाता है, right? The format of a circular is different from that of email. याद रखना, it is different. And internal circulation, you don't need to have salutation. अगर internal circular है within an organization, सैल्यूटेशन की ज़रूरत नहीं है और कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री क्लोजिंग की भी ज़रूरत नहीं होती है. यहाँ पे आप देख रहे हो, अगर इंटरनल है, यहाँ पे किसको भेज रहे हो, डियर, वो सब लिखने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. यहाँ पे क्लोजिंग की भी ज़रूरत नहीं है. ओके, नाउ नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज द सब्जेक्ट मैटर ऑफ एन एक्सटर्नल सर्कुलर विल बी आइडेंटिकल फॉर ईच एंड एवरी recipient. He is given the impression that the message has been crafted for him alone. ठीक है. Next is internal circular. Let's talk about internal circular. A circular for the employees of an organization about anything that is happening, about anything. Maybe tomorrow is a holiday. Okay, that is a circular. Tomorrow is there will be extra meeting after the working hours. That is also a circulation. If there are revised working hours, then also that is a circular. I'll show you one circular. This is a circular. So for internal, you will also have to keep circular number here, because there are so many circulars that are every day maybe 3 or 4 or 5 circulars are passed. So you have to keep a tab on that. Every time you cannot go and see the subject line कि किस बारे में है. Got it? So this is the format of a internal circular. You will write the date also, and you will write the who is signing this. You saw this? This I have taken from the book only. Now next is, what are the different writing styles of a circular? There are different ways of writing circular. For example, there is a direct style and there is an indirect style. So in the former one, what we use most of the time, we use let me write it here for you. Direct style and indirect में. Direct style में we use active voice. आपको एक्टिव वॉइस मैंने करवाया था ईसी इफेक्टिव कम्युनिकेशन 1 के टाइम पे. ग्रामर पोर्शन उसमें ऐड सब कुछ हो गया था. सो आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू डू इट अगेन. एक्टिव वॉइस में होना चाहिए, एंड ये वाला जो होता है वो पैसिव वॉइस में होता है. ठीक है, गॉट इट. नाउ डायरेक्ट में द स्टाइल इज यूज हियर इज कॉल्ड डाउनवर्ड कम्युनिकेशन. Means when the subject of the circular is routine in nature and the receiver are subordinate. Okay, next the writer here uses the active voice, which enables him to write a message which is very brief. And active voice का मतलब होता है you are very forceful. You are not telling like you have to be present there. you have to be present there is a passive voice. Be present is a active voice. So you have to be very forceful. It conveys the authority of, the person who is sending the circular. Okay, so his intentions becomes very clear. Okay, like for example, all the staff member must report for the meeting 15 minutes advance from today, otherwise they will be penalized. So it tells the receiver that the writer wants you all to be present there. So the directness of the order will make all the people, even the laziest of the person, to be there. If the same circular is written in a passive voice, जैसे अभी मैंने बोला ये active में था, all the staff member must report. ठीक है, और अगर इसी को पैसिव में कर दूं, it is being conveyed to all staff members that they are required to be present in the meeting 15 minutes in advance. तो वो पैसिव हो जाता है, पहले ढीला ढाला सा लग रहा है. सो यू हैव टू बी वेरी एक्टिव, अथॉरिटेटिव, कि योर मैसेज इज डायरेक्टली हिटिंग द पर्सन, कि ही हैज़ टू बी देयर. ओके, सो when it is in a passive manner, it does not have the same effect. Okay, the passive voice basically it does not lead seriousness to the circular. सो ऐसा नहीं है कि डायरेक्ट हमें इनडायरेक्ट में पैसिव वॉइस करना ही नहीं है. वो कौन सी सिचुएशन में करना है, दैट आई विल टेल यू. ओके, सो इनडायरेक्ट मैसेजेस में क्या होता है, इट इज़ इन द passive voice as I told you. So for example, in external communication, not for the internal employees, okay, where their presence is not compulsory, you are not showing your authority, but you are requesting their presence. Okay, so that is where we use indirect style and passive voice. So because you want to be tactful with your external stakeholder. Okay, that is why you have to be passive. You have to not to show your authority, right? For example, जैसे आपके invitations होते हैं, they are in passive because they want your, we seek solicitous presence during our this opening ceremony. So that is something which is not authoritative, but because you are seeking their presence, you want them, you're hoping. So these are internal circulars and the different writing styles, which is direct and indirect writing style. Now moving ahead, I am sure that I'm going to finish this chapter. Acha, before that I wanted to tell you something very important. I think when I was talking about emails, okay, here I have got free white space. So when you are writing attachment, I'll add the point here only. When you are writing attaching some documents, while attaching the documents, there are certain ways of telling how, like I'll write it one. When I finish writing, please take a screenshot, because these are some very good points. Okay, now when you are attaching the documents, in the end you will write either, here is the document you have asked for, here is the document you have asked for. तो आपने क्या बताया, that means something is been attached. Tips for attachment ये है, actually आप इसमें लिख सकते हो, these are the tips for the attachment, attaching the document. तो आपको ऐसे करके email में add करना पड़ेगा. Okay, second, I have attached भी simply लिख सकते हो, I have attached जो भी मांगा था, जैसे कि Excel sheet जो bla bla bla. ओके, जो उनसे मांगा गया था, फॉर एग्जाम्पल अटेंडेंस शीट और वॉट एवर. और थर्ड वे है, आई एम शेयरिंग आई एम शेयरिंग द डॉक्यूमेंट आस्क्ड, है ना. So these are the ways. I'm telling you different ways of when you are attaching something to you. This becomes mandatory to tell in the email that you are doing something, you are attaching. Though it can be seen, but it is your duty to give one of these. You don't have to write all of these, okay? I'm telling you uh, so many ways of doing it so that you don't become monotonous. एक जैसा भेजते every time नहीं करो. So you, there is a variety. Sometime you write this way, sometime you write that way. So it doesn't look boring to you also and the person who is receiving also. Okay. Now एक और तरीका है. You can say you will find the attachments below. Attachments below. ठीक है, ये एक तरीका हो गया. Then अच्छा, after you have attached, you don't want to write anything like this, but you say let me know if you have any questions, have any questions about the attachment. इससे क्या हुआ? That means you are already telling that person that there is an attachment here in this email. Okay. Now फिर एक और तरीका है. The requested document is attached to this email. Is attached to this email. और बहुत है, बहुत सारे तरीके. अच्छा, एक और relevant document or information is attached. Relevant document or information, where is the pen? Document or information is attached. और यहाँ पे आप information की जगह पे फाइल भी लिख सकते हो, है ना. Relevant file is attached, relevant document is attached. That depends on you कि आपको क्या लिखना है. So it becomes, if you have a variety, you also don't feel bored कि ऐसा ही लिखना है, हमेशा एक ही स्टाइल से लिखते जाओ. ठीक है. और हाँ, एक और तरीका है. प्लीज़ सी द attachment for more details, है ना. Attachment, sorry my pen is not working, for more detail. और हाँ, एक और, take a look at the attached file. Take a look at the attached file. This way you can do. हाँ, एक जो बहुत पुराना attached here with पहले लिखते थे, ये बहुत बेसिक था. Attached here with this email, क्या अटैच है वो लिख दो यहाँ पे. Attached here with this sorry, here with this email is my CV. ठीक है ना, ऐसे. Attached here with this email is my CV. ठीक है, ऐसे करके. Then I have linked at attachment, यहाँ पे ऐसे लिख दो. कहाँ पे गया पेन? I have, यहाँ पे मैं और लिख देती हूँ. कहाँ चला जाता है ये पेन का टिप? Here. Okay, here. Finally got it. I have linked an attachment file. ये इम्पोर्टेंट है, इसीलिए मैं आपको दे रही हूँ. ठीक है. फिर एक और होगा For reference I have और ऐसे जैसे डैश फाइल जो भी आपका था CV और एक्सेल फाइल is added to this email, is attached to this email. Then एक और लास्ट तरीका बता देती हूँ. The enclosed file shows जो भी आपको बोलना है उसके बारे में, shows my work experience or Excel sheet or whatever. So these are the ways of having an attachment. जब आप लिखोगे ना डालते हो तो these types of points should be added in the email. You all can take a screenshot because it's very important. It gives an added advantage to you when you write professionally. Okay, you can use one of the way. So how many I have given you? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. Around 14 or 13 are there, so you have a variety. Okay, let's go. Have you all taken the screenshot so that I can move ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.